Secondary dominant chords in jazz work the same way that they do in common practice progressions. They work to temporarily tonicize a chord other than one in a major or a minor key. In other words, they work to treat a chord other than one as if it were one. The basic chords in jazz are typically seventh chords, so all of the chords that we will discuss will be dominant seventh chords. Just as with common practice harmony, the possible secondary dominant chords in a major key for jazz are 5-7 of 2, 5-7 of 3, 5-7 of 4, 5-7 of 5, and 5-7 of 6. It is not typical to have a secondary dominant of a diminished chord, so 5-7 of 7 diminished is not included. As was discussed previously, we use all uppercase Roman numerals for jazz analysis, so the Roman numeral simply replaces the note name for the root of the chord, and the rest of the chord symbol is included. The following chords are the secondary dominant chords in the key of C major. Here are the secondary dominant chords in A flat major. Here is a major key chord progression that uses secondary dominants. Let's complete the analysis. The progression is in the key of C, so C major 7 is 1 major 7. D minor 7 is 2 minor 7, and G7 is 5-7. Following the 5-7, the progression returns to 1 major 7. We will use a bracket to show the relationship of the 2 and 5-7, and an arrow to show the resolution of the 5-7 chord. Now don't be fooled by the next chord. C7 is a dominant 7th chord. This is not 1. This is a dominant 7th chord that is not G7, the primary dominant chord in the key of C. To determine what C7 is a dominant of, we find the key that C7 would be the 5-7 chord in. C7 would need to resolve down a fifth as a 5-7 of F. Since F is the 4 chord in C, this is a 5-7 of 4. This is followed by 4 major 7, so we use an arrow to show the resolution of 5-7 of 4 to 4. Next we have D7, another dominant chord that is not G7, the primary dominant in the key of C. We can determine that D7 is a 5-7 in the key of G. Since G is the 5 chord of the key of C, D7 is the 5-7 of 5. This is followed by G7, the 5-7 chord. We will use an arrow from the D7 to the G to show the resolution of the D7 chord down a fifth. This is followed by 1 major 7, and an arrow is used from 5-7 to 1 major 7. In a minor key, we have the typical secondary dominant chords, 5-7 of 3, 5-7 of 4, 5-7 of 5, and 5-7 of 6. In the key of C minor, these chords are as follows. Here are these chords in E minor. Here is a chord progression using secondary dominant chords in C minor. The progression begins with a typical 1 minor 7 chord in C minor, followed by 6 major 7 and 2 minor 7 flat 5. Next we have a dominant 7th chord that is not G7, the primary dominant in the key of C minor. D7 is a 5-7 in the key of G. Therefore, with G7 being the 5-7 in the key of C minor, D7 is 5-7 of 5. We use an arrow to show the resolution of the 5-7 of 5 to the next chord, 5-7. Next we have 1 minor 7, and we show the resolution of the 5-7 to 1 with an arrow. This is followed by another dominant chord that is not 5-7. B flat 7 is a 5-7 in the key of E flat major. Since E flat major 7 is the 3 major 7 in the key of C minor, B flat 7 is 5-7 of 3. Depending on the context, B flat 7 in the key of C minor could be analyzed as a flat 7-7, since it is technically a diatonic chord in C natural minor. Since it is leading to the 3 major 7 in this progression, we will call it a 5-7 of 3 and use an arrow to show its resolution to the chord that follows, 3 major 7. This is followed by 6 major 7, 2 minor 7 flat 5, 5-7, and 1 minor 7. We complete the analysis by bracketing 2 minor 7 flat 5 to the 5-7 and use an arrow to show the resolution of 5-7 to 1 minor 7.